This is CHSR 97.9 FM here in Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada. This is Python's Paradise, your film and music show. And folks, you know, I grew up with horror films, you know, but I'm going to tell you, I've seen few women that are as gorgeous, stunning, beautiful, breathtaking as the woman I have on the phone with me today. Folks, I have the absolutely gorgeous and beautiful Melanie Kinnaman of Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning, on the phone with me. How do you do, gorgeous Melanie?
Aren't you so kind? I'm so glad that I showed up and got all these compliments from you. It's a happy day.
You know what? I don't watch Friday the 13th to see Jason, you know? It's just, there's so many of these beautiful women, like, why does he want to kill them?
Well,
he should be getting numbers.
Yeah, he's just another guy.
I guess so. So how is it in gorgeous sunny California right now?
California is great. It's been very hot.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I like the heat.
Yeah.
We never really get really cold here. I am looking forward to the fall because the change of season here, we don't have that many changes, but any change thrills me. So fall will be coming, and it's my favorite time of year. Of course, we don't have winter like you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't miss that anymore. Being from New York, I don't miss the snow drifts and the walking in the snow. But I do like a dose of snow every year, so I will go back to New York to get my dose, or maybe I'll come and see you and meet you in Toronto.
Oh, I'd love to meet you.
Yeah, so there we can do some, I don't know, snowboarding or something. Ice skating.
You know what? You'd probably be better at that than me.
Well, there's your challenge. I'll challenge you to ice skating rink.
You know what? If you're there, I'll give it a shot.
Okay. You've never ice skated with a chainsaw in hand.
You know what? That's something new, huh?
Yeah. Well, I might do that for you.
Well, if you can get your saw on the ice, maybe we can do some ice fishing, too.
There you go.
But no polar diving.
Yeah, dinner, too. Hallelujah.
Yeah, I understand. I was watching your Facebook. You had a little bit of a scare the other day.
I did.
What was that all about?
Lovely Los Angeles. Well, you know, it's probably not uncommon, but it was a shock.
Yeah.
That appeared on my doorstep of my house.
Yeah.
The LAPD took care of it, and it took me a day to recover from the shock of it.
Yep.
See a real gun pointed in your face, but it all turned out okay. So.
You know what? I'm so glad. You know, there's a lot of nights, Mel, when I read your stuff, I say prayers for you.
Well, thank you.
I do, and obviously you're being watched over.
That's the truth, and so are you. So
yes, absolutely. Yeah.
I have a bleacher of angels up there looking out for me. I'm aware of that.
There you go. There you go. You know, next year, Friday the 13th, Part 5 is going to be celebrating its 35th anniversary, which is interesting since you're 39.
There you go. That's why I like talking to you.
Actually, Melanie, you know, it amazes me because you still look stunning, you know, and you must really exercise and eat well to keep yourself the way you do.
Yeah, I try. I do work at it, and because it makes me happy.
Yes.
Something I've always done, and I like doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's important to take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anything else or anyone else. So it all starts with you. And I believe that, and I hope people take that to heart. It starts with you.
I'm going to assume you're not eating Ethel's stew then.
No. No. Didn't eat it then, not eating it now.
I'm actually surprised you're not involved with 13 Fanboy.
You know, I wasn't approached about it, but that's okay because, I'm busy doing things, as you know, and perhaps it wasn't something that I fit. I don't know, but I wish them great success, and I know you're involved, and
Yep.
think it's wonderful, and I wish you all such great success with it. I'm sure it's going to be a big hit.
Yeah, I won't be down at the premiere, but I could. Several of the people have been on my show. I said to Debbie Sue, I said, I'm not going to make it to the premiere, but I said, if you guys all do a Doubtfire Face challenge, that'll square us off.
There you go.
So I threw that at them. So.
And she will. She'll do it.
Yep.
Good that way.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely do it.
Yep.
She's very busy, too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like yourself, still looks good, and
Yep. When is she going to, when is this being released?
I think next year.
Good.
It's actually interesting, because I started doing I've been here at the station since 2005, just doing film reviews, but I landed an interview in 2015 just out of nowhere with Tommy Wiseau from The Room, and it's like, I just who else can I do this with? And this has become a major passion, and through this, I met Lisa and went to my first trip to Toronto, and then then I'm involved in 13 Fanboy, and James Bell.
You do a great job. You do a great job on the show, and this is you're contributing a lot.
Well, James Balsamo is a filmmaker who sent me an email one night. He's been on my show twice, but the first time he was on my show, he messaged me one night, like 4 a.m, and he asked me if I'd shoot my own death scene for Cool as Hell 2. And I just stared at that message, and I knew he had Tom Savini in Cool as Hell 1, and I knew Linnea Quigley was going to be in Cool as Hell 2, and various other people, so I called him because I knew he'd be up, and I said, explain. I have now been in 6 of his movies, just me doing cameo in his horror comedies.
That's great.
I just shoot it on my phone and I send it to him.
Send it.
Yep. Well, the next one I'm involved with, James is splicing my scenes into a TV being watched by Eric Roberts. And I'm sitting here thinking, I'm in scenes with Eric Roberts and I never met the guy.
Exactly. That's funny.
It is funny. Talk about technology.
Yeah, it's all different now.
It is all different now. But one thing I got to talk to you about, I was just floored when I heard you're into stand-up comedy. And here's the thing, and I've heard this from Jerry Lewis. Mm-hmm. I wasn't thrilled when I heard this, and I believe it was Jerry Lewis. I'm sure it was Jerry Lewis said that women can't be funny, and I'm like, really?
Yeah, he did say that. Yeah.
It was him? I don't get that. Because I can think off the top of my head all kinds of women out there that are funny.
Hilarious, yes.
Just look at Kate McKinnon.
Yeah, so many talented, great. He was a misogynist.
I guess so.
Nah, he was a creep, but
yeah.
I digress.
Oh, gee, I was watching Office Christmas Party, and you got Gillian Bell, you got Kate McKinnon, and there's others, and I can't think of them.
Yeah.
So many funny women, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I disagree with them.
Well, so did all the female stand-up comics back in the day. They all disagreed with him. They proved him wrong.
Yep. And let's face it, Eddie Murphy made the better Nutty Professor, so it's nice to say.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Yep. But what made you go into stand-up? Because this really surprised me, and not in a negative way either.
No. Yeah. It kind of surprised me. What happened was I'm writing a book.
Yeah.
And in the process of doing that, stories came up, things I had been through, and I was talking to a writer about it, and he said, you should really do some live work. And I said, what do you mean? Because I'm working on my one-woman show, which is a combination of music. I sing, I dance. It's autobiographical, so I tell my story. But in the course of that, there's sadness, and it's very funny. And he said, you need to take that funny stuff and do that on stage as just comedy. You really need to do that. And I kind of had to be talked into it because I never really saw myself doing that sort of thing. But he explained to me how it would be very helpful on many levels of performing. So I took it seriously, and I sat and I started writing for a very long time. And I started getting offers to perform live comedy shows. And I said, okay, well, I took the challenge. I'm going to do this. And I wasn't sure if I could do it. I mean, I knew I had the material. I knew I could do it, but I wasn't sure I could do it, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
So I did the first show, and it went extremely well.
Okay.
And I got laughs from beginning to end.
Nice.
And so it said to me that I had something to say and something to bring to the stage that was different, my point of view, and that I had a purpose to do it. It did help me with my one-woman show. It's helping me with the book, and it also will help me with the book tour, because you get interviewed and, you know, you have to be interesting and funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm able to do that. So, and stand-up comedy is the hardest thing I've ever done.
Okay.
I have great respect for all that do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's an art form. It's not just getting up on stage and thinking you can do it and be funny and wing it. No, it's an art form, and I have great respect for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm learning a lot from it. So, and I'm enjoying myself. I've got 2 shows in October that I'm doing.
Oh, nice.
And from there, I'm going to do more.
Is there any magic in this? Because I do understand you have a disappearing, reappearing pink sweater.
That's funny. Yeah, magic is helping me. I can tell you that. Yeah, I don't talk about the pink sweater situation on stage, but it does come up in interviews. And as you know how without me getting into it, you know how I feel about that damn sweater. So.
Yeah, I still don't get how they got the way.
I'll never get it.
Yeah, but you were a real trooper. Your chainsaw didn't disappear, though.
No.
Yeah, good thing it didn't.
Yeah, they couldn't screw that up.
Yeah. But
Editors
no.
couldn't screw that up. They had to go with what I had.
Yeah, but I'm going to say, stand-up comedy. Now, here's a question for you. Who is your favorite stand-up comedian?
Well, most of my favorites have passed on. I thought George Carlin
Yes.
was a genius.
Yep. Agreed.
Funniest person.
Yep.
I do like, she's still with us, thankfully, and she's kind of retired, but she's coming back, as Elaine Boozler. I don't know if you know.
Oh, I know who she is, yes.
And she's very supportive of other female comedians. So she is great. I think she's one of the best. I do like some of the girls from Saturday Night Live.
Okay, like Jane Curtin?
I think, well, of course, Gilda
Radner,
they
yep.
are also unbelievably talented and funny.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some great ones now. You mentioned Kate McKinnon and stuff. Who is
Oh, yeah. She's so funny.
Yeah. So there are so many. But my absolute favorite, and I love Richard Lewis, he always made me laugh. He's always been funny, talented, groundbreaking, and he's my neighbor. So I have to throw that in.
I remember a joke.
When I see him, he makes me laugh.
I remember a joke Elaine Boozler did. She said she was talking about birth controls and how, men should wear condoms. And she said, the commercial always says, it's not worth dying for. And she says, well, when you're in it, it kind of is worth dying for.
She's very funny. One of my closest friends and also a neighbor is Diane Nichols.
Okay.
She is a very funny comedian, and she's helped me a lot, giving me advice and pointers because she's been in the business. She's also Elaine Boozler's best friend. She has given me great advice on helping me get up on stage and do it, invaluable advice.
Yeah, I love a lot of the comedians, both past and present. I've done a tribute to Sam Kinison on here. I had his brother on here.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Sam a bunch of times, yeah.
Yeah, Sam was pretty vocal.
Oh, yeah.
I always liked him, though. But yeah, another one I recommend highly is Stephen Wright.
Steve Wright, I've known. He's great. Gilbert Gottfried, I've known for years. He's great. It's a very difficult medium. It's difficult, and it takes a lot of bravery to get up there.
Yes, it does.
On the stage with a microphone and talk to people and entertain them. Louis Anderson is also one of my favorites.
Yeah. I always liked Rodney Dangerfield as well.
Yes.
Got no respect.
Jerry Seinfeld's great. I love Gary Shandling.
Yep.
I love Billy Crystal, who's also a friend.
Yep.
So there are more than I can even mention here.
I love Robin Williams as well. Richard Pryor.
Yep.
Eddie Murphy was a genius, Yep. Yep. Oh man, there's just so many. Speaking of female ones, one who's still great, was Lily Tomlin.
Yes. And I do like Tina Fey. She's not
Tina
a stand-up,
Fey,
but she's an incredible writer, incredible comedic performer, and she's so talented.
She and Amy Poehler together are gold.
Together, both extremely talented women.
I love sisters.
Great writers. It's all about the writing and, of course, the ability to perform what you've written. So.
Yep. I don't know if you want to share any of your jokes here on the podcast or not.
Probably not. I don't want to jinx myself.
No.
And put it out there and blow it. No, I'd rather people come and see me.
Okay.
And if they can't come and see me, I'm sure there'll be stuff going up on YouTube, so I'd rather save it for that.
Sure. I don't blame you. But I'm looking forward. I've been waiting to see you dance for the longest time. You've done these movies. I never got to see you dance. I always get John Travolta to.
That was all live stuff, off Broadway and commercials, and I still teach dance. I'm happy to say I'm teaching, and I enjoy it more than I thought I would. I really enjoy teaching.
Okay.
It's a whole different thing because you're not just dancing, you're passing on the technique and watching people learn it and grow. It's been a real blessing to be able to teach these girls.
Do you have a favorite type of dance?
I do love jazz.
Okay.
I love ballet.
Okay.
I like a lot of the modern. I really love it all. But I'm based in ballet. Everything comes from ballet. Every dance form was rooted in ballet. If you can do ballet, then you can spring off and do other things.
Well, I've noticed that when I dance, paramedics seem to love my work because they always show up.
Very good. Boom. You should be doing stand-up.
I could, but I'm sitting down. All right, listen to me. I'm amusing the comedian. Yeah, I saw the pictures on Facebook. You were with a group there doing stand-up, and I think it's wonderful.
That was my first show.
Yeah.
Big show, and that was at a big venue. I mean, how fortunate am I to be starting out, and I start out at one of the best venues in Los Angeles. So I'm a lucky girl.
You know what? I think it's wonderful. Like when I saw that, it's like, oh man, there's something that I've never seen you do. And you know what? It's nice to have these. I've seen you on the screen, but I've never got to see you dance. I knew you could do that, but this was something I never knew you could do. And it's like, yeah, well, you know what? I encourage you to keep doing it because I think
I am.
Yeah. Forget what Jerry Lewis says.
I'm getting offered shows, and I'm not turning them down. So
there you go.
I'm plugging along doing it, and it's been very rewarding.
Does
positive feedback from the audience.
Does Friday the 13th fall under your comedic storytelling?
Yes, I talk a lot about it. And I got my biggest laughs talking about it. So, yeah, because I give them the inside scoop, which I'm not going to tell you.
You know what? I wouldn't ask you to jinx yourself. Absolutely not. But I'm going to tell you, I feel bad with a lot of the ways that, and I'm really glad you're doing the comedian thing, because sometimes you got to laugh at things, and just laugh off some of the hardships. Because I know that there was times in your career where you were exploited. Like, I never understood Thunder Alley, why they had you do a nude scene when it didn't really need it.
Right.
Right. In A New Beginning, I was listening to a commentary track with Danny Steinman, and I got nothing against the guy, but
I do.
Huh?
I do. But anyway, what were you going to say?
Well, I in the commentary track, he's like, "Take the darn shirt off," or whatever. It's like,
yeah.
I'm just kind of like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a tough shoot.
Yep.
Other cast members had a great experience with him.
Mm-hmm.
I had a different experience with him. A lot of it was combative. I was very quiet, but he was combative with me, and we didn't quite see the character the same.
Mm-hmm.
And he did want me to be naked, So luckily the script didn't call for it.
Mm-hmm.
And Frank Mancuso Jr. didn't call for it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he decided to make sure that you could see through the shirt at all times. I was not aware of that. It's fine. I'm fine with the whole thing. I was into the character and telling the story. I was not aware that I was soaking wet that you could see through the shirt.
That's a dirty trick.
I was aware that I was wet, but you're not thinking you're involved in the character. You're not thinking, oh my God, you can see anything. So, but I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's horribly distasteful. I'm fine with it. So I have no bad feelings about that. I only have bad feelings about that pink sweater.
You're so beautiful. You don't have to go that route.
Well, I appreciate you saying that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that, but I must say in that film, once they hosed me down, I was better looking. So in the hindsight, I'm grateful he decided to just hose me down.
Yeah. Well, speaking of comedy, and this is something, if you haven't put it in your act, maybe you might want to include it. Because I saw it the other day in Dora the Explorer, and I thought of Friday the 13th Part 5 when I saw this. And I just threw my hands up, and I don't get it. Demon did this in Friday the 13th Part 5, and I actually saw it in Dora the Explorer movie recently. People who use the washroom from the back side and don't wipe.
Yeah, no, I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I can't believe Dora Explorer's doing that, but...
Well, they had a scene in it where, one of her friends needed to go, so they got her to dig a hole, and they didn't show anything, but she was...
Why do we need to see that?
I don't know, but apparently something chaotic happened, and then she had to get up. And I'm the whole time the movie's going, is she dirty back there? Like, I don't get it. I mean, she had to go crap.
Now that's funny that you were thinking that.
And the first thing that popped into my head was Demon. I mean, he just pulls his pants up. I'm like,
gross. Yeah, that whole scene was gross. But at least they killed him, so.
Yeah. But I still...
Yeah, I know. I hear you.
Like, if my body's going to the morgue...
Yeah, I hear you. But at that point, who cares?
I guess. So, that was sort of some of the funny things I see in these movies.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. But no, you had your... How many shows did you say you did?
What
For stand-up?
For stand-up, I've only done a couple,
Uh-huh.
and I have a bunch coming up in October. So, starting, the more you get under the belt, the better. And I'm looking forward to it. It's been a great experience.
So
I'll let you know how many more I'm doing as I do them.
Yeah, because I could share them on Facebook,
Okay.
Yeah, I'd be happy to do that. But here's the thing, like, how do you come up with your act? I know we mentioned Friday the 13th, but what inspires your humor? Where does it all come from?
Just, from your life.
Yeah.
Things that you experience that you find that you can make it relatable, that you can talk about and find the humor in.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them, a lot of it's not humorous, but you find the humor in it, and so does the audience. So you can take some very negative things.
Yep.
I do talk about Harvey Weinstein. So anything that happens in your life, we all have a personal journey, and we all have a story, and in that story you can find humor from sadness or from happy events.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what it's from. You only have, your material is personal. All you have is yourself and your story.
Yep.
So you write from that.
First off, I'm really sorry to hear about the Harvey Weinstein situation, I mean, that was pathetic what he was doing, and I'm sorry you got caught up in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sadly, that's part of life. It's part of the industry. He's not the only one. I have a few other stories, but he was the worst and the most famous.
Yeah.
But he was not my first. So, sadly, I had some experience with that. Each time it's shocking.
Mm-hmm.
You never really are prepared for it, and you never get over it. You move on,
Mm-hmm.
you address it, but it stays with you. I will tell you that. I thought it's something that just goes away. It does not. You're able to deal, and life goes on.
I learned a lot when I was in Toronto. Just when I was assisting Lisa, we would go to, she knew all the great restaurants. So we'd go to the restaurant, and I learned a lot about how to treat a woman just from just having a conversation and just...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. No, you're correct.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about communication and respect for the other person. It starts with self-respect and then respecting the other person. And there's not a lot of that going on these days. So, that's been shocking to me and kind of sad. But there isn't a whole lot of respect for the other person.
But that's one of the things, like I always post on your page every Friday because I like to boost your spirits, because I know what it's like to have my spirits crushed.
Yeah.
So.
And this Friday is Friday the 13th. Yay, everybody. This Friday is Friday the 13th. So I will be giving you a special shout-out, Greg, on Friday.
Me?
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Shout out on my page. Yes.
Absolutely, But I appreciate you, and I'm glad you're just like Pam from the movie. You're strong.
Yeah. Gotta be.
Yep. And of course, there's Reggie the Reckless. Does he come up in your act?
No. Shavar and I are friends. I speak to him a lot. He's doing very well. And he's actually one of my only friends from the show, which is kind of funny. Marco St. John and I were friends. But, and Ron Sloan, I really adore. I don't see him that much. But, but Shavar has become one of my closest friends from that show.
Yeah. I haven't had him on here yet because Scotty McCoy said he's hard to get hold of.
Yeah, difficult.
But I have had Ron Sloan on here. I've had Bob DeSimone.
Yeah.
Yep. I've had Corey Parker was on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Had Corey Feldman.
No, but apparently it was at Fan Expo. I know he's in 13 Fanboy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't get out to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
And I've had you on for the second time. Debbie Sue Voorhees has been on 3 times, and I've had Tiffany Helm on.
Yeah, Tiffany's a great girl.
Yeah. But no, we got to get you up here. Do you have a favorite?
Okay.
Do you have a favorite convention that you've been at? I know there's been so many.
Oh, I really, I loved Chiller. Great people, great fans, very well organized. And, of course, Monster Mania. Dave Hagen, shout out to him. He runs a great show, one of the best in the business. And that's also one of my favorites.
Okay.
I've had nothing but great experience with Monster Mania.
Okay.
Hagen. I also enjoyed Texas Frightmare.
Okay.
And Horror Hound was nice.
Actually, it's interesting you say...
I have to say one of the top, though, is Monster Mania.
It's interesting you say Horror Hound, because when I went to be Lisa's assistant at Horrorama, I remember Ron Sloan, I interviewed him before I went, and he said, if you get to Horror Hound in Chicago, he said, I'll introduce you to your crush, Melanie.
How cute is that?
But it was the same weekend as Horrorama.
Yes.
Yep.
We had a good time. It was good to see Ron. I hadn't seen Ron in years, and I saw him there. And it was a great weekend.
Yeah.
So nice to see him.
Well, it's interesting because I know Lynn Griffin and Sean Sullivan were there. And I know they had contacted Lisa to find out when I was leaving Toronto. Because they're from Toronto. So we all got together that week.
Yeah.
So,
I've done some great conventions in Europe.
Oh, yeah?
I did a great one in Germany, the Dark Zone, and the promoter has since passed away. He became one of my best friends.
Oh.
And I did a few in London and Birmingham, and those were also excellent. The fans in Europe are unbelievably wonderful. It was a great experience, and I'm hoping to do London again.
Okay, yeah. Well, I always ask this. I might have asked you this when I had you on last, but maybe it's changed since. Bear with me. What's the most interesting thing you've ever been asked to sign?
Body parts, not good.
People tattoo them on. I think Caroline Monroe was the first one that told me about that. Now I'm hearing that a lot.
Yeah, I got a tattoo. Someone's got a tattoo of my face on their butt, so that's a big
on your butt.
On their butt, yeah, that's a big thrill.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
I don't want tattoos. I'm sorry, but
No, I don't have any either. But
yeah.
Yeah, he felt that I should be very honored. So there you go.
You want me to tell you what I want to get?
What?
I want to get one of those T-shirts that has your face on it, because you said you kissed the person you seen that had it.
Yeah. Well, there are a couple of really great T-shirts out there. Gutter Garbs does them, so you can always contact Gutter Garbs. And if I happen to come across one, I'll save you one. What size?
I always get extra large.
Okay.
And the reason why I do that is because it'll go through several washes.
Sure.
I get extra large pretty much everything, yeah.
I'll try to get you one extra large.
Yeah. I read that comment. I'm going to hold you to that.
All right, will do. I stand by my promises.
Yeah. But, going back to your stand-up comedy, when you first got the date to do a show, and you're backstage and you're waiting, what was going through your mind? Were you nervous, or did you have this anticipation? What was going through your mind?
Yeah, I had anticipation, but I was so well prepared.
Okay.
I knew I had to over-prepare.
Mm-hmm.
It was new. Yes, you're always nervous. I was excited, but mostly I just wanted to be confident and get the material out. So when I hit the stage, I was nervous. When I always hit the stage or do anything, I'm nervous when I first get out there, and then I calm and I enjoy it. So that's exactly what happened the first time. It went exactly as I had expected. And
Okay.
I'm happy with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have in your mind a certain way you wanted the act to go, or did you just let it flow?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Sure. It's very, you rehearse it. I rehearsed constantly for a month. I did a lot of practice live shows. And, you have to memorize and have your timing down. It's all about the timing. So I practiced for 6 weeks, every week, four shows a week. I did practice shows. So, and that's what I continue to do for the next big shows I'm doing. You have to constantly practice and hone it.
Mm-hmm. And you look very classy, too.
Well, thank you for that.
Yes. Though I love how you got your hair, and every time I see pictures of you, you're always dressed to the nines.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're classy.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you for the compliment.
Oh, no, no problem. But no, so that first act went without a hitch.
Yes.
Now, as you go into the October shows, are you going to have new material, or are you going to go with what you're having?
On that now. No, I'm going to use a little bit of the old material, but I'm always putting in new.
I would think that would be the hardest thing about being a stand-up.
It's hard, but
Yeah.
you must, I feel, always put in some new stuff
Yeah.
because it stays fresh.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to keep writing. That's difficult, but you have to keep writing and keep trying to bring in new material, new point of view, new topics, and it keeps. But there's the creativity there.
Mm-hmm.
There's the creation there, and that's what I'm doing it for.
Okay. Yeah, because I that would be where I would get lost. I noticed this with Rodney Dangerfield. Rather than repeat a joke, he will say something different. I'll give you an example. He once said that he taught his son about the birds and the bees, and he said his son went out and knocked up a sparrow.
Well, these guys were the masters.
And then he said the same joke. He said, I told my son about the birds and the bees. He told me about my wife and a butcher.
It's funny.
So he did the same joke, but he did it differently.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would be the part that would stall me,
Well, you have to find it's creativity. You have to find it.
Yes. Now, I was looking at... Huh?
You keep growing. You just keep going with it.
Yes. Well, I noticed on your Internet Movie Database, you did Slasher Fest 85. What was that all about?
That was a film about a famous horror... That was me, a horror actress, who was being stalked.
Uh-huh.
And, it was shot in California.
Okay.
And worked really hard on that. It was supposed to be released, and I don't know, there are glitches. Somehow, as per usual, things get held up or not released. But it was a great experience for me. I learned a lot doing it. I worked with some great people, so that's not... it's always a positive experience.
Well, it says here it's a short film.
Yeah, it was a short film. It was a SAG budget film. And I got to work with great people, so I was happy to do it. I have a lot of stuff I've done that is not on the database.
Okay.
Primarily because it's not been released, but things will be coming out. And, I'm constantly working on stuff. I have a project that's coming up for Netflix.
Okay.
When that is about to be released, I will tell you about it.
Absolutely. I could have you come back on here.
Hard.
Yeah, I could have you come back on here again. Yeah.
Yes, I will. I would love to tell you about it. It's a great project with some great people. One's a star. And as soon as I'm allowed to talk about it, I will come on your show and I'll tell you first.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So, no, yeah, I noticed, I saw the clips from Slasher Fest 85, and I thought I heard rumor that it was supposed to be a feature, but I'm just seeing short by it, because I know you would, I don't know whether it was you that said something about that or who it was.
Yeah,
but
it was supposed to be a feature, yeah. But that remains to be seen what's going to happen with that. But the script was good, and I was the lead character who was a horror scream queen star, and was being stalked by a real killer in real life. So it was interesting.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I need to ask you, since you're into stand-up comedy, because I want to focus on that. I love that part. I loved reading that you were into stand-up comedy. It's just, it was something I never expected, and yet I smiled whenever I discovered you were going into this. Right. What are some of your favorite comedies?
I know it's not technically a comedy, but there was so much good comedy in it, and that was Peggy Sue Got Married.
Okay. You know what's interesting? I've never seen that. That is Francis Ford Coppola, is it not?
No. Cage starred in that, and Kathleen Turner.
Okay, I think I'm thinking of something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are so many great comedies. I love the National Lampoon stuff. What are my favorite comedies? I haven't really thought of that. That's an interesting question.
I had to throw an interesting question to you.
Coming up blank on that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Would you consider Friday the 13th Part 5 a comedy?
Yeah. I do like John Candy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Very funny.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite John Candy movie?
Well, anything he's done. And I liked the Billy Crystal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Last 48 Hours.
Okay.
Recently, I have to say I don't like a lot of the comedies because they're too crass. They work blue meaning that it's not. There's a lot of stuff in there that makes me uncomfortable.
Okay.
Too graphic.
Mm-hmm.
Dirty.
Okay.
Doesn't make me laugh. So.
Yeah, I hear you.
Bridesmaids upset me. I had to stop watching. I had to leave.
Didn't like Bridesmaid. It's okay.
No, I know it's funny.
Yeah.
But as a female, there were things in there that upset me so much that I had to stop watching because I don't like crass, and it is. So.
Okay. Well, you mentioned National Lampoon.
The old comedies.
What about Animal House?
Animal House is good,
Because that was crass.
Yeah, but there's some stuff that's okay.
Okay.
It's not like today. Today is really bad.
Today is. You are right.
Really bad. And it takes the humor away from me, and I can't enjoy it.
Do you have a worst comedy you've ever seen?
Well, Bridesmaids.
Okay, Bridesmaid. Okay.
Yeah. Some
Okay.
Amy Schumer stuff. I know she's talented. Can't watch it.
Okay.
Too graphic.
Yep.
Can't watch it. But again, that's just me. I have an issue with that. I know they're great. I know that people love them, and I'm not against that. For me, no.
Okay. Because I'd love to see you in a comedy, because I know you've done like Cheers and stuff like that, but I'd love to see you do.
It would have to be a funny story.
Yeah.
The comedy would have to be in the story and the timing and the delivery, and not in graphic, sexual, or bathroom humor. It does not appeal to me.
You know what? It's interesting, too, because I know one guy, he's unfortunately no longer with us, but he knew how to not just write comedy, but he knew how to write human emotion so well, was John Hughes.
Yes.
I
love that stuff. Yes.
Like one of the things I so compliment him about was 16 Candles, the fact that...
Movie.
Yeah.
Movie.
And what was interesting... when I first saw that, I was half expecting everybody to jump out at the end, surprising her for her birthday, and they actually forgot her birthday, and it led to that wonderful father-daughter moment.
Yes, great writing, great movie, great acting. That's great stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep. But no, I agree with you. I don't think... I can handle some crass, but then again...
Most people can. It's just a thing for me. I
yep.
don't like it.
But you know what? I agree with you. I think good...
I love Woody Allen stuff. I love Woody Allen stuff.
Yep.
It's clever comedy. It's not. There's not a cringe-worthy thing in it. I love it.
Did you see To Rome with Love?
Yeah, I mean, I love it.
I loved it when he had to Compromise the guy who can only do opera in the shower.
It's so clever.
Oh, I got a big laugh.
All that stuff was just so clever.
Mm-hmm.
Funny. The writing's great.
Yes.
So that's, those are my roots.
Okay. So
All
so you got those 2 shows in October. Anything else that's
Yes.
coming up?
Well, I'm working on this Netflix thing that I can't.
Okay, that's all right.
As soon as I can, I will tell you all about it.
What about your book?
Book I'm working on. Can't talk about it, but that's going extremely well, and it will be published. So all is good.
When can we expect it?
Not till next year.
Not till next year? Okay.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of writing it now, and then it will go into editing. So it does take a long time, but it will be out next year.
Okay. Well, do you have any charities or web pages that you want to... I know you got a web page that you want to plug on here?
No, I don't really have any charities. I support a lot of them. I support St. Jude. I support children's charities, battered women.
Yes.
But, I don't publicly. I just privately support these. So
okay.
anyone that is looking for something, I think they should look at the St. Jude and also battered women's foundations. Always
okay.
important. Abused children, very important.
Okay.
So,
well,
it's been great talking to you, and I appreciate the format you've given me, the platform to speak.
Well, you know what? I work a cleaning job for money, and only thing going through my mind today is I'm going to go from a cleaning job to talking to one of the most gorgeous women in horror film history.
You're awfully kind. I appreciate it, and it's been such a joy to speak with you. I look forward to speaking to you again and hopefully meeting you.
I hope to get you up here. Yeah, that would be wonderful. I don't have a passport yet because it's just I don't know how you survive it, but the States looks kind of like a nightmare to us in Canada right now.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, like it's. Yeah. I don't get it. It's like every time you turn the radio on, there's a shooting.
Yeah, it's every minute. So, yeah, I'm hoping for things to change here, life to be better for America. Right now, we're at a low point, but I'm optimistic that things will change. Things always change. The pendulum will swing the other direction. I'm sure of that. So.
Okay. Well, before I let you go, number one, like I said, I want to express my deep thanks that you said that you do a Doubt Fireface challenge for me.
Yes.
However, I'll throw this out there. I know you're good with it, but if you have a charity, I'll donate for you, just as my way of saying thank you.
Well, I think you're doing enough as a thank you.
Yeah. And I'm going to continue to say nice things to you every Friday because I want to build up your spirit.
Thank you, and same for you.
Yeah.
And I wish you great success in all that you're doing. And again, I look forward to speaking to you soon.
Well, before I let you go, I got to get a plug for my show.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
Go for it.
Hi, this is Melanie Kinnaman from Friday the 13th, Part 5, and I'm here with Greg Gilbert on Python's Paradise in New Brunswick, Canada.
It's always a joy to speak to you, Melanie, and I gotta say, you're a very, very nice woman. You're not just beautiful outside, you're beautiful inside, and I really appreciate, I read your stuff, and I really appreciate what you contribute, and I hope your stand-up act goes really well. Thank you,
Greg.
I think there's a lot of funny women out there, but man, I'm looking forward to seeing what you bring to comedy. And I love the side of you that I'm first seeing, and I look forward to seeing more of it.
Thank you so much, Greg. Thanks for the support.
Yes, you've got it.
I look forward to speaking with you again.
I'll gladly have you on again, Melanie. You know where you can reach me.
I do.
Yes. Well,
Thanks, Greg.
You have yourself a wonderful day, and God bless you.
And happy Friday the 13th this Friday.
Same to you. You take it easy.
You too.
Bye-bye.